his former wife. It was the second time that Carter was charged in the 1987 shooting of Carol Vandergrift. He spent 4 years in prison on the first conviction, but he's now a free man after new evidence prompted a retrial and his acquittal. Joining us here this morning is William Douglas Carter, who was found not guilty yesterday. Also here, Attorney Gregory Harris, who successfully defended Carter in this trial. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Let's begin with you, Mr. Carter. The morning after this not guilty verdict, your reaction?
I'm still a little numb. If you want to know the truth, it's been a long fight, and thank God that I was supported by so many friends and my family, and now it's over.
I'm sure you heard in her reaction yesterday, your ex-wife Carol Vandergrift said that it was amazing to her that many people could believe the big lie, that someone would shoot themselves in the head at the prospect of, to send you to jail for the rest of your life. How do you respond to that?
It's hard for me to believe that she would go to that length also, but she did. She told so many lies, and it was brought out in court this time that she had told so many lies that it became more credible that she would do something like this. It's a terrible thing that she did. It shows that she had some serious emotional problems.
Now, you spent 4 years in prison. 4 years. How do you view that time?
It was the most useless, wasteful time of my entire life. I can't describe it properly. It's the thing that sort of thing you never expect is going to happen to you, but it did, and it happened because evidence that should have been brought out at the first trial was not, and we were able to bring this evidence out at the second trial. So here I am.
All right, let's turn to Gregory Harris on that point. What won this case for you?
I believe that what won this case for us was that all the evidence did come forward in this trial, which had not come forward in the last trial.
Give us the key example.
I think the testimony of Douglas Pompa, that Miss Vandergrift testified, well, Mr. Pompa testified that Miss Vandergrift told him that she was going to shoot herself and frame her husband. That was very critical evidence for us. That evidence, as we understand it, allegedly was suppressed in the first trial. Judge Sinclair so ruled, and I think that played a very substantial role in Mr. Carter's acquittal. Also, of course, they had very little case against Mr. Carter other than the word of Carol Vandergrift. And as we successfully argued to the jury, you could not believe Carol Vandergrift. She had lied under oath numerous times. She lied in this trial, and I think the jury simply did not believe her.
What about the impact of cameras in the courtroom? There were cameras covering this trial this time. Any impact in your view?
I don't believe it had any impact on anything that the lawyers did or said or anything that the witnesses did. I think it's very gratifying that cameras are in the courtroom and they can bring the judicial system into the homes of the American people now. That's a big plus, I think, for Virginia.
Yeah, how did were you nervous about the fact that cameras were going to be in the courtroom to hear all these intimate details being played out?
You just ignore them. You forget they're there. And I think the camera is very unobtrusive, and I agree with Greg that I think it's worthwhile having them because it educates the people of the country to something that is real and how the system really works rather than this thing that you see on L.A. Law and Perry Mason and that sort of thing. I think it's a very big plus.
Are you concerned that no matter what you do, and obviously now you're trying to get on with your life, that you will be seen, despite the not guilty verdict, as somehow a tainted person?
Yes, I'm afraid that may happen, and I don't know how to combat it, but 12 substantial citizens of Loudoun County said I wasn't guilty, and by golly, I'll go with what they said.
What are you going to do? What are you doing today?
Well, I promise, since I was released from prison in February, I've been working for my younger brother. And I really haven't put in a full day's work yet, and I had promised him that today I was going to put in a full day's work, but Lark, here I am with you.
Well, what will be your excuse today, right? One more day. What kind of work will you be doing? What will you be doing?
My brother owns a company called Carter Control Systems in Frederick, Maryland. He is involved in plant automation, and he's very successful at it. He's much younger brother, and I'm just tickled to death to be able to come in there and help him.
Are you broke? We heard that you're the former millionaire. Are you broke? Do you have any money now?
I filed bankruptcy 2 months ago. I'm totally bankrupt. My expenses for this trial was borne by my family.
Yeah. How much does he owe you? What does a trial like this cost? What does this cost? I mean,
It is, any legal battle like this is very expensive, and I would not discuss a peace situation with Mr. Carter. He was very fortunate to have his entire family and his brothers come forward and help him out in a very big way throughout the trial.
Now, you didn't testify at the second trial. Why not? Why not?
My lawyers wouldn't let me. They think I talk too much and that I get mad on the stand, and so they wouldn't let me.
And quite frankly, his testimony was not needed at this trial when all the evidence came out in this trial before we needed to put Douglas Carter on the witness stand, and his testimony simply was not necessary once the truth came forward.
All right. Thank you both for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
8:27. Brian, over to you.